Plays Games. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to our life. So, this time of day was quiet outside. The flowers blew gently in the wind, petals trembling but stubbornly hanging in there. You felt the breeze cool your heated skin as you relaxed your shoulders. Cove closed his eyes, releasing a deep breath. Okay, I do too. You do, that's surprising. Your opinion has changed since you were first on this hill. You enjoyed the moment. I do too. Alright, a beat passed, but his gaze didn't stray from your own. His voice was impossibly soft when he spoke up again. I'm glad I met you. You're really important to me, you know? Aw, so sweet. You're being too sweet. To your surprise, he slowly shook his head. It's not sweet, it's just the truth. Then Cove reached over and held your hand without another word. Even as the sun disappeared completely and the sky darkened, you and Cove remained side by side for as long as you possibly could. Aww, so cute. So the sun warmed your skin from its place in the sky, and you closed your eyes, enjoying the mix of heat with the pleasant breeze that drifted past you. You and Lee had spread out a blanket on top of one of the hills behind your house. Lee? Oh, the cousin. Okay. I was like, wait a second. Who the fuck's Lee? Anyways. And had been relaxing there for a while now. Lee had come over earlier in the day, and while a range of activities had been discussed, from staying home to heading down to the beach, a picnic on the hill had been the choice you both settled on. Aw, I love picnics. I haven't actually been on a picnic. I like the idea of picnics, okay? Like, I guess the best example of a picnic that I've been on is, I guess going somewhere and using, like, the picnic tables and having, like, a quick lunch. But I think, like, an actual picnic where you, like, bring a blanket and you, like, walk to wherever the, like, quiet, you know, away from everyone's spot is. With a cute, like, little picnic basket and everything. I want that. I really want that. Like, that's, like, my dream come true. I want one of those cute romantic picnics. I'm sorry. Anyways. A small spread was laid out in front of you. Some bottled water, soft drinks, as well as chips and sliced fruit. You sat up and reached for a snack, listening to Lee talk away about the musical she had gotten to see a few days ago. There was singing and dancing and crazy stunts, and it was all done live in front of my face. Maybe one day we could go together. I've got to see more shows like that. I love theater. You smiled at Lee's enthusiasm, knowing how much she enjoyed singing and performing. She was good at it too. You'd gotten the chance to hear her sing a couple of tunes. You knew she had put a lot of effort into it. You also liked to sing, but you weren't very good. You also liked to sing and had a talent of your own. You didn't like to sing, but you had been told you were good at it. You weren't good at singing, and that suited you fine. Okay, so I am pretty good at singing. I get stage fright so bad, though. But I am pretty good at it. It's just I get so nervous. It was nice that the two of you could share that interest. I wonder, maybe if we could put on our own show, think of how fun it'd be. We could perform for our parents and ask our friends and some other people to come watch it too. It'd totally work. I don't know about that. The idea gave you stage fright. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did theater in high school, so I'm like, yes, what are we doing? Sure, I'll give it a go. That's not a good idea. It'd be embarrassing. Let's do it. You had actually thought about doing something like that before, but never had the chance to. Alrighty. I'm gonna sing. Do you want to? Or maybe do something else? Let's see. I'll do some kind of stunt that goes with the music. I'll pick the outfits. I'll do the makeup. See, if I really had to choose, I would do the singing play an instrument, write the song, makeup, and make the backdrop or some kind of stage. Let's see. We'll perform an incredible duet. Is there anything else coming to your head? One more thing. I'll do the stage. I'll make it a real show. I'll draw something, I'll paint something, I'll sew something. I'll paint something. You thought about your painting kit back home? You definitely could use that. Anything else coming to your head? One more thing. I'll do the makeup. Great idea, you'd be great at that. Okay, so you got to only choose 3 things. I'm glad I did my top 3. You ran back to your house to go grab the supplies you needed, dodging your mom's amused questions before heading back out to the blanket to get started. You set your makeup kit down, scanning the various products and envisioning how you wanted the design look for the show. The afternoon passed quickly, the sun dropping lower and lower in the sky. And after having thoroughly worked out how the show was gonna go, you decided to take a break. We should have invited Cove to watch us practice our show. He could tell us if it's bad before we put on the real thing. But I'm glad he didn't, see? That would be me. I'm glad he wasn't, you know. It's probably not something he'd like. I don't want to hear it if he thinks it isn't any good. I don't think he would be mean. Okay. Too bad Derek isn't in the neighborhood today. I like him. Ah. So she's gonna date the friend and okay. Yeah, he's a good person. But speaking of boys we like, what's the relationship status between you and Cove? Is it good? You shouldn't gossip. Yeah, it's good. But like, really, what are you gonna be telling him? You have a crush on him anytime soon, or what? Pretty sure he already knows. Pretty sure isn't sure. You should declare it to him. Oh my god. You know he's got a crush on you too. It's obvious for him. It's obvious for you. Why not just do it? Alright, anyways. Sorry, I'm trying to speed through all this because I want to get finished through with this game because I've got a lot of games to play before I continue. I've got like a ton of games lined up and I don't want to take too long on the series because obviously this is going to be a long series. We've got a good bit of videos already. Why does she look so grumpy and why do they look just so upset? Hold on. But yeah, anyways. So let's go ahead. Alright, upon walking through the front door, you are met by your moms and Elizabeth hovering around each other in the living room. Tension hung thick in the air as the 3 of them turned to you, and Lee slightly frowning, or frowning slightly. You had interrupted something, exactly what you weren't sure. Wow, who died? Ugh! I wouldn't do that! What's going on? You looked between them but said nothing. What's going on? Your moms looked at each other wondering which one of them was gonna speak first. Eventually, Mom cleared her throat and spoke. We were just having a talk with your sister. The room fell quiet again. With no one quite knowing what to say, you felt incredibly awkward, but the silence didn't last long. You don't have to stop just because those 2 are here. There's no reason to try keeping it a secret. Elizabeth was asking about her parents. Hold on. Are we adopted?
Elizabeth was asking about her parents. Hold on. Are we adopted?
Her biological ones. So I guess we are adopted. Cool. The world spun around you at the news. You couldn't understand why this was happening now. When you glanced at Lee, she shuffled her feet uncomfortably as though she didn't know if she should be there or not anymore. You didn't know either. Your moms had always been open and honest about the fact that neither of them had given birth to you or your sister, but the details hadn't been fully explained before. What? Okay, now that's surprising me. Cause, like, the skin tone, and then my skin tone matches, and even the hair, and what? I guess it's so easy to assume that, but like, it made sense that Elizabeth didn't know a lot about her biological parents and wanted to know more. You just haven't ever thought you'd accidentally stumble into it. Elizabeth looked at your parents expectantly. She wasn't gonna let the unintentional interruption derail things. We don't want to keep that information from either of you. It's your right to know your past. But we did want to wait until you asked us to hear it. So, well, it's happening now, so. Oh my god, she's such a bitch. Teenage years are really not doing her any favors. I adopted you from the Philippines when you were just a baby. Elizabeth dropped her arms, her eyebrows shooting upward in surprise. I wasn't even born here? No, you weren't. You could clearly see that your sister was appalled by this information. You struggled even more with what to do and how to react. Am I gonna have to pass some tests to even be a citizen? No, you were adopted into the country. We took care of things. You're already a citizen. You have nothing to worry about. I followed all the laws when it came to bringing a child into the U.S. Nothing can be held against you. Okay, who were my parents as people? Why'd they put me up for adoption in the first place? I'm so sorry, sweetie. Your parents were reported to have died. They didn't go into details on the specifics of how, but you were an orphan. I wish we had better news for you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth was torn between emotions, her eyes filled with tears as she threw her hands in the air, settling on enraged. Great, so I can never meet them, even if I wanted to. Not that I could have anyway, since they lived in another part of the world when they were still alive. Oh, okay, so I do feel bad for Elizabeth in that sense. But at the same time, like, why? These two have raised her since she was a baby and have given her everything they could give her. I have to go and talk to her. We should give her a little bit of space to process it all. With Elizabeth now gone, the two of them seem to remember you and Lee were standing there, or still standing awkwardly off to the side. Sorry you had to see all that. It's not how I expected it would have happened when the time came. But since it's the topic of the day, is there anything you would like to ask? You deserve to know after all. I want to know. Sure. Your parents both nodded in sync to your reply, ready to talk. I can leave if you want to have things be private. I want you to be here. Alright. You turn to face your parents again, preparing yourself for what they were about to tell you. You were adopted as a baby, but 2 years after Elizabeth, we used a different organization that time, and you were adopted within the U.S. We're sorry to tell you, but your parents had also passed away. No other family members took you in if there were any. That's why we wanted to wait until you asked. We didn't want to suddenly drop that in your lap. We wanted you to be prepared. Lee gave you a reassuring squeeze on the arm to show that she was there for you. It's not your fault. You didn't kill him, right? Thank you for telling me. I did want to know, and now I do. If there's anything else you want to know, all you have to do is ask. We'll do our best to answer any questions you have. Oh, I just completely jumped over that. Anyways. I feel fine. No one seemed to have any words after that. I feel like as a sibling, you should check on your sister when they had startling news. So we'll go see Elizabeth. She had been so angry. You could see that she was clearly sad. Left Lee in the living room because, I mean, that really, I don't feel like that's fair. When there was no answer for a good minute or two, that's when you jiggled the handle, found it was locked. It hurt to be shut out, especially right now. Let's go see Cove. More than anything in that moment, you wanted to see Cove. No one could be there for you the way he could. I'm gonna go out just for a little while. I'll be back before it's really late. Alrighty. Cliff turned and whistled down the hall in the direction of Cove's room. You've got a guest.
No worries.
He'll be here any second. As promised, it didn't take long before footsteps echoed down the hall. Alrighty. Can you hang out now? Alright. Cove tilted his head at you, his bangs falling into his face as he did so. We're not gonna jump into that, okay. There's a lot going on right now. Hi. Okay, so... Moms didn't say how, maybe because they didn't know, but there wasn't any other family I could live with, so that's why I got adopted. Without having anything else, or just having to say anything else, Cove reached out and pulled you into a hug. Basically. Tight embrace. Alright. Aw, so sweet. I'm okay. I'm glad you are. Can we talk somewhere else? Aw, so sweet. You headed towards the hills where you and Lee had spent the majority of your day. Things seemed so different than only a couple hours ago, and you wondered how everything had changed so drastically. Wow, okay. My speech sucks today. You took a seat in the... You took a seat in the grass beside Cove, who bent his legs and rested his arms on them before he turned to you again. Can you explain everything to me? Okay. So basically you explained it, and then silence settled. When he finally spoke, his voice was quiet, drifting through the night towards you.
I'm so sorry.
He stopped suddenly and took a deep, shaky breath. You got the impression he was struggling with what was right to say. I mean, yeah, it'd be sad to never get to know your parents. But also, you know, feel bad that I don't feel worse about it because, I mean, as a kid, if you only know, like, a certain set of parents, like, this was something I had explained to my mom because my birth father wasn't really in my life. And for the most part, all I really knew was my stepdad. Like, don't get me wrong, I know my biological father, I have nothing to do with him. But you can't miss something you don't know. You can't miss someone you don't know. Is kind of my view on it. Because, like, to me, I don't really know my birth father. I don't associate with him and stuff like that. So, I don't necessarily miss him. I don't really, worry about the woulda, coulda, shoulda type of things. What would have been type of things. So, I mean, I kind of get that. I never knew them at all. They're strangers, even if they did have me. I think you can be as sad as you want for as long as you need, or you can feel okay about it whenever you want to. Anyways. That was so sweet. Alright. Doesn't matter if you're not blood related, you're definitely family. I can see that. I hope you can too. It really... Family is not blood. Even with, like, people look at me like I'm crazy when I say that. Because of how close I am with my mom. After talking about the situation with someone who wasn't directly a part of it, you started to see things in a different light. Above all, you were glad to have Cove's support, to know you could count on him if you needed it. Alrighty. Now the sister approaches. She walked closer and you didn't quite know what to do or what she was planning on saying. Would you mind going? I want to talk to just Lynk. You can come back. It's not going to be forever or anything. What the That's so rude. Like, can you just go? Wow. But you know what? She's going through a lot too. And this honestly reminds me of how me and my sister react with certain parts of our life, and I could definitely see my sister in Lizzie versus how, you know, I react. I want to talk to you too.
Really?
Oh, then we're on the same page. Well, yeah, I tried to talk to you earlier. She made a little move along gesture with her hands. Okay, you don't have to be rude. This is without a doubt how my sister acts. My little sister. Did they tell you about your parents too? My birth parents also died.
Sorry.
Why did you want to talk to me? I went to see you and you didn't even answer.
What?
I didn't hear anything. Shutting everything out with loud music was very typical of your sister. You didn't feel much less confused though. Why'd you stop doing that then? I was worried about you. I was the one who brought it up, but I made you deal with whatever was left when I was gone. I wanted to ask you what happened without everyone breathing down our necks. I'm amazed you noticed that was unkind. That would be something I would say to my sister. Like, she has a heart. Thank you for thinking of me. I'm not mad at you. I'll just say thank you, because that's typically what I do. Is I would think of something sarcastic to say, and there's a good chance that I'm gonna be sarcastic, and then on the other hand, I'm just like, you know what, thanks. In your own way, you're being you. Alright, so it didn't upset me. How are you allowed to be that mature? Oh. You have to be born in the US to become president. What? You never have heard that dream of hers before. She noticed your bafflement and continued. I get I was never going to be president, but it just feels weird having stuff taken away, not even getting a chance at it. I don't like having to know that when I was born I was going to have a completely different life, so different I can't even think about what it looked like in my head. I could have spoken another language, lived away from everything I've ever seen here, and had someone else as my sibling. Then my parents died and I was adopted, and the life I got became a totally new thing forever. I can't go back to what it was even if I wanted to. I mean, I get that. It was a confusing feeling to have lived one way for as long as you can remember, but not having it be what was originally yours. Though at the same time, I mean, if you're one of those people who believes things happen for a reason, then that was, you know, what's going on is what was meant to happen. I don't know, I think one thing that would be kind of cool in this game is to have, like, the parents, like the moms, take her to see where she's from. Like a little vacation there to, like, I guess, see her culture of what she would have grown up with. And embracing that. I feel like that'd be really beautiful. Anyways, I don't know why today was the day. Nothing came up to make me ask the question, just something I've had in my head for a while. Anyways, learning about them, what happened, doesn't change how I feel about our family. I already figured a long time ago that moms weren't our biological parents, and that wasn't news. Technically, one of them could have been related to you. Like I said. Just keep listening. Nothing about the family I was first born in would have made me decide that this wasn't my family anymore. If you'd had hoped you'd be free of my big sisterly status, don't think you're so lucky. That'd be my older sisters.
She'll always be my little sibling.
Aw, that's so sweet. You'll always be my family too. Alright, ready to head back home? It's been a long day.
Come on.
Alright. When you stepped through the door, you found your moms quietly sitting together. We're so glad to see you. Alright. Aw, family hug. You're smooshing me. They both pulled back and eventually grinned at the two of you. You knew that you all had each other and you always would. Hey, I hope you're alright. Okay. And are you okay, Elizabeth? Anyways, so, well now, since we're all here, how about we do something together as a family?
Totally.
Wait, where did Cove get here? Alright. Aww. No matter what she could have said about it, you wanted him to be there. He was someone who was really important to you. Oh yeah, the show. Duh. Let's not. That'd be wonderful. Did to me. Alright. I'll cook up some popcorn while you guys pick out the movie. Aw. Anything but trauma, we don't need any more of that today. I love that. I prefer to watch horror. Family friendly, a comedy would be great. Okay, so honestly, I would choose horror, action, or comedy. Let's go with horror. With the basics settled. You didn't notice that Elizabeth was sliding up to you till she was right next to you arm in arm. Since there's only so much room on the couch, I say it should go to Lynk and I. This is our day. I want to sit with you too. I'm small, you won't even notice I'm there. I want to sit with the cool kids too. Surely there's room for one more. I bet you want to sit there too, huh, Cove? Oh my god. Oh, be so sweet. Anyways. What's the skinny? What? We all want to sit with Elizabeth and Lynk, and there's not enough room on the couch. Definitely a problem. Suppose there's only one solution. Okay, I guess we'll sit on the floor in front of the couch.
Yes. Rude.
The whole point was us getting the couch to ourselves. Okay, in that moment you couldn't have been more pleased to be a part of the family you had. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!